What's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope and Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson, back with another prediction video. Make sure you check out ropeanddoperadio.com. Thanks for everybody showing up on the live audience Wednesday. So it was a big show. Thanks a lot. Everyone's really pumped up. I feel like all the traffic on websites and the boxing forums, on the YouTube channels, everybody's going to get a lot more traffic just because it's November and December, and this is, the big fight time. So, this is the prediction video for Zab Judah versus Lucas Matthysse. Now, I've heard Matthias. I've heard Matthysse. We're going with Matthysse. Now, Matthysse is a 27-0 young fighter, 25 KOs. The only guy that we really know of that actually has a name is Vivian Harris, and he actually doesn't have much left, and we've seen it over and over again now the last couple of fights for him. So, not taking anything away from Matthysse. I'm sure he's got a ton of pop in his punch. Maybe he's got a ton of power. Obviously, the 25 KOs tells you he has power, but when you're not fighting people that are on a top level, it's a lot easier to knock them out. That's all I'm going to say. So obviously the guy's got something in the fist, right? Because you wouldn't be knocking people out like that. So we'll see. For an aggressive fighter, which the guy is, Matthysse, he does keep his hands up. I noticed that, and this could be said for any fighter, really, a jab slows him down. Obviously the aggressive guys, you want to slow down even more with a jab. So I think that Zab Judah, that's going to be a key to a fight, which is a key to all his fights, is the jab, because he's got a world-class jab. So think about Matthysse is like, he comes forward, but I notice he keeps his hands up. Not to say he can't get hit, because he can. And like I said, a jab seemed to frustrate him pretty good and slow him down, but he does move on the way in, a little bit of head movement and just upper body movement on the way in. He mixes up his punches well, he goes to the body, he's got pretty good hand speed. Like I said, he's got a lot of power, or at least a ton of pop. We'll find out how much power he really has. So I think it's going to be a really good test for Zab Judah. Zab Judah, I think the fact that he looked good in his last fight, he was supposed to look good, don't get me wrong, but his body looked good, his hand speed looked good, his jabbing and the movement looked good. He just looked good. He was supposed to, of course, against the opponent, but he did look good. So the fact that he didn't fight that long ago and he's coming back, I'm not going to stay on short notice, but he's staying busy, in getting this fight and staying in camps, have a camp, have a fight, and then get back into camp, because he was actually supposed to fight a little earlier than this, I believe October 2nd, and it got bumped once this fight got signed in November 6th. So, Zab did look good. He landed a great uppercut. The movement looked pretty good. He looked like he was in great shape. He really did. So we're going to see what Zab does. Is Zab going to be safe? Kind of like we talked on the Wednesday show. A couple people, including me, thought that he'd probably fight fairly conservative for at least a good chunk of that fight and not try to swing with the guy and just use his superior skills and hand speed in that jab and some movement. It'll be interesting to see, though, because a lot of people, I've talked about this before, and people have made this point a bunch of times, that a lot of times people call it running, right? Or even when you're on the move the whole time, circling your opponent, moving, on the go. It's tiring. It gets you tired. Just like you can punch yourself out if you throw a bunch of punches. Same type idea, you just get tired. So it'll be interesting to see midway through the fight if Zab is still sharp. And because I have a feeling that he's going to play it safe for a little while and kind of feel out this guy's power because of the KOs. But overall, it's tough to say, because if Zab gets hit and hurt, or even starts losing the fight, he just mentally, a lot of people say he gets gassed. That is true. He's not in shape a lot of the times, but it's also his mental shape, and sometimes that can be even worse. Guys can be in great shape and physical, just feeling great, had a great camp, but if you mentally are blocking yourself, or mentally getting negative, or mentally giving up type of feeling, it doesn't matter. So it'll be interesting to see physically and mentally Zab. I do think he'll come in physically pretty good, just because, like I said, he didn't fight that long ago. But overall, I'm going to go with Zab on this one, just because I've only seen the guy fight a full fight once. talking about Matthysse, and I've seen like a highlight video of his, like an 8-minute highlight video or something like that. So I haven't really seen much of the guy, I'll be honest. He does look like potentially he's a fun fighter to watch. Like I said, it looks like he's got power. He's not just a head of steam guy. He does seem like he cares about not getting hit a little bit, at least with the hands up and some movement on the way in. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to go with Zab, and I'm going to go by a TKO or a decision. And for the fantasy pick, although I know we're not doing vids this time, I think I'm going to go with a decision for Zab. Anyway, this has been the Rope and Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.